What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JP's on the keys, and it's too easy. We're back in the video today. Today's a different video from what I usually post. I had a comment about checking out the interview of this woman named Katie Hopkins. So basically, Katie Hopkins is one of those ultra conservative women. Ultra conservative. Ain't nothing wrong with being conservative, but I'm just saying. And I saw a snippet of her interview in the last video. The last video I posted, like a snippet in the last video where she was talking about how certain children's names, where she doesn't like them because they're stereotypical, all this other stuff. But let's just watch this whole interview. You know what I'm saying? Let's just hear what this woman has to say.
So, what is it that you can tell from a name, Katie?
I think you can tell a great deal from a name. For me, there's certain names that I hear them and I think, ooh, and it's associated, ultimately it comes down to the mum or the dad, because they're the ones that gave the child the name. But when I hear screeched across the playground,
Katie Hopkins says she doesn't like her children playing with a Charmaine or Tyler. So you're basically stereotyping. So if you don't like, usually Tyler is a white dude's name and Charmaine is a black girl's name. So you don't like your children playing with black people or white people? Apparently. But bro, I don't even understand, man.
Tyler, come back here. That's the Tylers, the Charmaines, the Chantels, the Chardonnays.
And there's no one shouted out, Esme, come back here.
I don't hear that so much.
Really?
Nor do I hear, Ileana, trot back here. You don't hear that, do you? But you hear, Tyler, come here. That.
What's wrong with that? Oh my God. See, I feel like you one of those nitpicking types.
And for me, that summarised everything. A name for me is a shortcut. It's a really efficient way of working out what class that child comes from. Do I want my children to play with them?
And why would you say, so if you then...
So name determines social economic class and... Oh, okay.
From that, you go, okay, well, they're in a lower class than I am. Why do you then not want your child
Because
to be...
associated with that isn't just about class, Holes. It's about the fact that they probably haven't done their homework. When my daughter comes home from school, she'll say, Tyler was a real pain today, let's say, because he threw his books across the class and the teacher had to lose her patience. There's a whole set of things that go with children like that are quite a disruptive influence in school, and that's why I don't like those kind of children.
But Monty and Ileana can still be nasty, self-centred airheads, can't they?
I tend to think children that have intelligent names tend to have fairly intelligent parents.
So, intelligent names. So names that are not cultural, basically. That's basically what you're saying. Names that have no cultural influence. So you can determine social economic class by somebody's name, and you can also determine whether or not you want your children playing with it. This is the... Just say you racist and get it over with, at this point, because ain't no way... I know she can have her opinion. Yes, she can have her opinion, but I can judge her opinion. Yes, I can. Bro, this is just idiotic. This is extremely idiotic. But imagine her daughter come home with a dude imagine she got a son and he bring back a girl, Charmaine. Oh my God, she's gonna be, her head's gonna explode.
And they make much better play dates, therefore, for my children. Sorry, pardon. I say, we wouldn't say that word. No, not at all. I think, if you look across...
Nasty, if you've got the class system at school.
I think if mothers were honest with themselves when they vote on that worm of yours, and they say, their child comes out and says, let's say a name, I don't know, Simon has asked me to come and play on a play date, and the mother will say, well, where does Simon live? What that mother is not, she's not asking about geographical location, she's sussing out, do we want to be playing with Simon or not?
Anime.
Hello.
Go for it.
This is snort-worthy, Katie. I mean, I just can't believe that you're such an insufferable snob. And I can tell you that if you do let one...
Talk your stuff, anime, manga, talk your stuff. Simon. Bro, asking Simon is where did he live in terms of geographical Norfolk. What? Bro, nobody thinks that deep. I'm sick of y'all. Y'all try to come up with every excuse to just hide the fact that y'all are racist. Like, bro, just say you're racist and get it over with. Like, bro, I don't understand. Y'all try to tiptoe and dance around the fact. Like, my child can't play with certain people, you people, these people. Bro, just...
One of your little darlings go and play with a working class child. They almost certainly won't come home singing, "My old man's a dustman." It's safe, really, nothing's going to happen to them. Working class children are doing incredibly well, and for you to categorise at state schools, and for you to categorise them because of their names, which they didn't even choose themselves, is cruel and unkind and so snooty. It's just so old-fashioned. And yeah, I don't know who your children are mixing with, but it's not the children's friends who will make them do well in the end. And I can also tell you that on Friday I was at my daughter's graduation. She qualified as a doctor. I've got 2 doctors in the family, went to state schools. I'm the daughter of an Irish immigrant. And there were Dr. Kylie's graduating, Dr. Charmaine's. So tell me, if you were sick or one of your children was sick, would you let a Dr. Kylie treat your children? Or would it be too appalling because they're working class?
Well, the lawyers I work with, I can't think of a single Charmaine nor a Kylie.
Okay,
I don't meet many myself. I mean,
See, it don't apply to me, so it don't apply to me. Well, it ain't the same in my situation, so I don't have to deal with that. This is why we call y'all Karens. This is why we call these. Listen, this is no racism, but the type of white women who are like this, we call those Karens for a reason. Like the white women that just judge based off what they see. Like no type of further investigation, they just judge. These type of white, not even just white women, just people. Just people. Really anybody can be a Karen if we being for real. Anyone can be a Karen. Like you just gonna ruin the fun for no reason. You're a Karen. Like I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, Italian, whatever. You're a Karen if you ruin the fun. It don't matter. If you're a male Karen, you're a Kyle or whoever it is. Whatever name. I don't know. Anyone can be a Karen. It's not just restricted to race.
Charmaine Cree, the Australian Paralympian gold, silver and bronze medalist. Tyler Cowen, New York Times journalist and professor of economics. Brandon Flowers, musician, lead singer of the Killers.
You say that to me, and I hear those names. I mean, I think it's probably what we all associate with children we know that have those names. I hear that last name, and I think, hasn't done the homework, will always rock up late, has the mother signing in. Reason for being late, running late.
Are your opinions not really restricting your children?
They are, but you know what?
But why would you do that?
We haven't got a lot of time.
Why would you do that?
We are really time short in this world, and we need shortcuts to make decisions.
That's why you shouldn't be sneering at people, Katie. It's about
very
sneering.
quick. It's about making fast choices for your children that you think are for the best.
I know,
and one
my
day they'll get
friends-
to do their own thing.
My friends...
Imagine coming home after a long day of work and hearing this type of talk when you get home. That she judged a guy named Brandon. She judged a kid she doesn't even know by his name. And the 11% that said you judge by names, I don't understand. Y'all, I don't know.
At primary school were from all sorts, and they're the people who've seen me through my life, through illness, through bereavement, through having my own children. And now I don't even think about where they came from, what their names are. They're just my dear, dear friends. And you're really robbing your children of the chance to be decent human beings. It's about kindness. It's not noble.
I'm a
pushy mum. I'm a self-professed.
It's very real.
I'm a self-professed pushy mother. And I'm a working class girl.
I don't buy
You must
that.
have missed
The
out
mums
so
don't come
much
up
in
to
your
me.
life if
I
you
haven't
don't
missed
see
out on
that
a
as
great
being
deal.
All together, ladies, you're all talking
Sorry,
together.
I can't help but get involved.
When parents come up to me, they'll say, I read your article or whatever about, what children are called and the fact you wouldn't let your children play with them. And they'll say, I wouldn't say it, but that's what I do.
Well, snobs attract snobs, what can we say?
Loads of women are doing the same
My name
thing.
is Anna May, and I was not allowed to play with certain children when I was at school because their families knew I was an Irish immigrant. And yeah, I have to say that me and my children have gone on to do a whole lot better than some of their children. Now, that's not bragging, that's just a fact. So they should have really betted on me because I probably would have helped their children do well.
All right, Katie, so that's your view on Christian names. So what happens about the surnames then? Do you judge someone on their surname?
That's sinister.
Surnames, no. I mean, I don't really get involved in surnames. I don't really know many of the surnames of the children that my of the friends of my children, so I wouldn't judge them on their surnames. It's
Because
just
you're on very dangerous territory. You start to judge someone on their surname.
Well, as I said, I don't judge people on their surnames, but certainly I do make a very quick decision based on their first names. And there's a whole bunch of first names that I don't like. I don't like footballers' names. I don't like names after seasons of the year. I don't like geographical location names, celebrity names, things like Apple, things like, you know, Tilly Fizz or Jolly Apple, whatever they've just...
So you're just making a random, bro. So you're just making a random assumption about certain...
decided to call their crazy...
Poppy.
My child's called Poppy.
Yes.
It's a flower.
That's a flower.
A geographical, seasonal.
No.
They're not like Latin.
Poppy's quite
You should
jolly.
call it to the Latin name for Poppy. That would have been really posh.
Interestingly, though, other people have criticised me for calling her Poppy because they say Poppy's a naughty name. So
Did
parents
you
do
say, what
criticise
about
each
geographic
other.
stuff?
Geographic. Oh, so Brooklyn or London.
Your
or...
child's called India.
Yes, but, you know,
Ha!
that's because it's not related to a location. That's because it's
India
related
isn't
to
a location.
It's the same location. Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna call my child. I'm gonna call my child London, but that's not a geographical location because I didn't mean it. Didn't. It's not in that context. Like it might be London, but just because it's the same as London, don't mean it meant to be London. This is unbelievable, bro. This is unbelievable. If she judges off names, imagine the other things she judges off.
No.
We're talking about education?
Indy's a very, very lovely name for a very lovely child.
I think Katie was on gas and air when she chose those names.
Yeah, I think sort of, it's a little hollow.
I think they're
Doing it
beautiful. I
yourself.
think you've chosen beautiful names for your children, and I would never think to judge them by that.
I do
until
judge
met
children
them.
by their names.
That's
I do make
terrible.
assumptions, and lots of
Listen
other
to what
parents
you're
do.
saying. You judge children
Yes.
on their names.
Yes, Holly.
Katie,
yes, I do that, Holly,
it's
because
extraordinary.
Where does it get you,
typical.
Katie? Where does it get you and your children to do that?
It's nothing
How is
to
it
do with my
moving you
children,
forward?
It's for me. It's about the fact that it makes me allowed to make very quick decisions about whether the sort of children that I want my children to be playing with.
Are quick
Lots of other
decisions
mums
always
do it.
right decisions? Quick, you made a quick decision.
I
and it's a
have.
load
I've
of
managed
rubbish,
to
isn't it,
fast
really?
forward. I mean, it's funny that we call our children names before we even have them. Before you've even taken a look at your child, you'll give it a name. I think
Well,
that's
this
a
is
strange
you
thing
have an
too.
issue with people calling their children names that may mean beautiful or something. when
Well,
they-
you end up with a terribly ugly kid called Bella. It's quite strange.
That's so cruel.
Bro,
I can't go.
My daughter's called Belle. My daughter's called Belle.
Philip, you have a funny face.
Well, no, I just
don't
only
know what to say.
Well, my daughter's called Belle, so that you would maybe have an issue
But she's
with that.
probably quite beautiful, Holly.
But
Taking a look at the mother.
She has a beautiful soul. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful child in many ways, other than the way she
Well,
looks.
okay, and I'm sure, Holly, but I can't envisage a child of yours not being. But when I
that's
see Tyler
regardless. It
and
doesn't
Tyler's
matter.
mum, it's a very different thing.
Katie, are your children only allowed to play with good-looking children as well?
No, because
So
clearly...
you let the ugly ones in, as long as they're
I have
posh.
to.
Yeah,
I don't
as long
have a
as they're
choice in
posh.
that matter.
As
Let's
long as
take a
they're
look at
posh,
the
doing their
candidates you're
homework.
talking to.
I'm gonna just leave that alone. I'm gonna just leave that one alone.
As long as they're doing their homework, they
And
arrive at
they're
school
posh.
on time, they're dressed in
They've
the
got
right
good
uniform,
prospects.
they're trying hard, they've got good prospects, they've
And
got
their
attention
parents don't
parent. Those things
don't
are
like
fine.
bingo.
Yes,
Parents don't
there's
like
my
bingo.
list.
That-
Stop, set out.
Let's have a look at the worm. Let's have a look at the worm.
I wonder
what
what-
have you been
what
saying
the
at
worm is
home?
gonna
Right,
do. Oh.
should you judge a person by their name? Anna May, 91% agree
Yay.
with you.
9%
Katie,
said
only
yes.
9%.
To be
But
honest,
still,
I think that worm might be called Tyler. That's all I've got to say on that
I like
worm.
the
That
name
worm is
Tyler.
never my friend. You can't.
I do like the name Tyler.
Can't.
Right, let's go see what Stephen thinks in the hub. Thank you.
Well, let me tell you, this is going nuts. You've been talking about Tyler. Well, Katie, Tyler has emailed. Good morning, Tyler. And Tyler says, how dare you? I've just got my PhD and I'm from a very working class family. What a sweeping statement that you are making. That's what Tyler thinks. I'm just going to keep saying Tyler. Emma Dilton, I'm guilty of this. My 9-year-old made friends with a girl called Chardonnay and my stomach turned. I completely judged the poor children, but alas, I was right. She was expelled last week.
Oh my God. See, now then you use one right. You use one right, like, situation. See, I was right. I was right the whole time. I was right the whole time. Listen, if I had a kid and you told me the name of the kid, I want to see the kid, first of all. I'm talking about you want to play with the kid. Let me see the kid. Let me talk to the kid's mom. Not just a basement assumption just based on what the kid tells me. Like, I swear, some of y'all got no. If you do this, bro, you really have no life. Like, if you really sitting here judging children by the names of the friends that they hang out with, you have zero life. You have nothing to do. Like, I don't understand. Like, you can't judge off race. I mean, not race. I mean, off names. You can't judge off somebody's name. Maybe if you know the child's family, you know their family is kind of notorious for doing some bad stuff. You might be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Be careful, but not just off a name and you know nothing about the child. Like, that's a ridiculous claim.
Wow. And last one for now, Maddie Roberts. I hate to admit it, but I do agree with Katie as well. So I just done that one. Amy has emailed, who cares if a child has a name that you don't like? Fancy saying to your child, you're not allowed to play with that boy because he's called Brendan. I quite like the name Brendan. Keep your comments coming in.
Final point here. So, if your child, if India or Poppy or Maximilian come home to you and say, my best friend, Chardonnay, would like to come round for supper.
Oh, that wouldn't happen because I'd have shortcutted that out a long time before. We don't achieve best friend status with Chardonnay.
But you can't later
Someone
on,
named after.
How can you control that? How do you control? See, parents like this create kids that are extremely sneaky and will go behind your back and lie to you. Because when you try to control every aspect of their life, they will figure out ways to shortcut what you got. Definitely figure out ways to shortcut. Ain't no way around it. The strict parents create sneaky kids.
The wine is not coming through our home, are they now, Philip?
No, and she'd probably eat her peas off a knife anyway, Philip, so she wouldn't last.
She's more of a probably black tower or a blue nun.
Oh, stop. Stop right there. Thank you very much.
Probably black tower or a blue nun.
Oh, stop. Stop right there. Thank you very much. Right, Darren Brown is here after the break.
What'd she say?
Last.
She's more of a probably black tower or a blue nun.
Oh, stop. Stop right there. Thank you very
Tell me, I can't hear the accent, but just tell me what she said, bro. I feel like she said something off the walls. But this is just ridiculous. Bro, like, it's human nature to judge, obviously, because you don't know about the person. But when you judge off a name, that is ridiculous, man. That's so ridiculous. Just like I know what happens with employers when they see your name on a job application, they might judge. They might think like, oh, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Who's this girl? You know what I'm saying? But when you're a parent and you have a little kid, like a toddler, like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, I'm gonna hang out with my friend Tyler. His name is Tyler. I don't know. Like, bro, that's wrong. That's just this. So I don't know. Like, apparently, I feel like these people, they really make their living off shock value. Like, they'll just say something so crazy that it gets people talking, and they just make money off that. Because they literally have nothing else to offer but to just say shocking things and to just offend people on purpose. That's really all these people do. They literally just offend people on purpose for monetary gain. But it is what it is. Like I said, I would never judge nobody off of their name. I would need to see who you are in person first, to be honest. But anyway, thank you again for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed. Turn on my post notifications. Please be safe. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the video. I'm out. Peace.